Hello and welcome. I am Yomi Otaigbe. This week on Community Reports, we'll be taking you through a community of professionals that inherited its legal heritage from the United Kingdom, those who are saddled with advocating and soliciting for the people. It's about lawyers and law practice in Nigeria. They refer to themselves as learned, but how well have they performed their role in the society? We'll be looking into this and more on the program. Deriving its origin from the English legal system, the legal profession in Nigeria dates back to the later half of the 19th century. Prior to the advent of the British in 1861, the traditional adjudication system was in place. It was designed to promote communal welfare by reconciling the divergent interests of different people. However, it was inadequate to cope with the commerce in the new colony. From 1914, when Nigeria was amalgamated, different levels of legal systems were set up, and this dovetailed into the establishment of the Nigerian Law School in 1962 to provide practical training for aspiring legal practitioners. Since then, thousands of lawyers have emerged in Nigeria and are still being churned out every year. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Adewale Adeshokon, looks back at events leading to his call to the Nigerian Bar in 1987.
In my secondary school, from 1, from 2, I joined some group of boys who didn't like mathematics. And anytime there was mathematics lecture, we would go to the library to read books, novels, fiction, autobiographies. So, but we had a vice principal in my form too, who told us that, he would tell us at the assembly that, look, English is disaster number 1, mathematics is disaster number 2. So that woke me up that I needed to take mathematics seriously. And I didn't want to pretend that my science subjects were okay. So I now told myself that what's the best option that I have? And I recognized that law was the best that I could do, and that I loved among what I had left. But then I still had that issue of, would my dad agree? Because we had all these myths about lawyers, successful lawyers who had to go around with juju, who had to be in fraternities, cults, and that it was impossible. The impression we had was that it was impossible to be a Christian and then be a successful lawyer. So I thought my dad would not agree. But when I told my dad, he was very, very happy. And from that point, I was not looking back. I concentrated, I chose my subjects properly in Form 4, and that was it.
One of the younger generation of lawyers operating in one of the legal hubs in Nigeria is Adeyemi Abijo. He shares his journey into the profession as well as his first experience in the courtroom.
My initial decision to study law, I would say, was born out of the fact that when I was a young man, say in my secondary school days, I see lawyers around, and I appreciate, what they do as lawyers, especially that anybody referred to as a lawyer is seen as an elite. I finished studying law at Lagos State University in the year 2000. 2007, and immediately we set out for the Nigerian Law School. I became a lawyer in 2008, and I started out almost immediately. I could recall that I was called to the bar on a Wednesday, and on Monday, I told my guy I wanted to go to court with him, and he encouraged me. In fact, getting to court, he decided to leave me to handle the case all alone. So he sat back. And being myself, I wanted to do that too. So I started addressing the court. It worked out deliberately. So I think he was trying to, watch what I was doing. So at some point, he saw that I was not too fluent with what I was saying. So he came in and excused the judge, or excused me, and it took over. But one thing that had done for me was that all the fear that you had in mind as a new wig, like we usually call new lawyers, had disappeared.
Law is not a career that is strictly for men. The ladies also hold their own in the legal space.
I've been doing this for about 7 years now. Interestingly enough, I actually started from the sciences, and I've always loved challenging and intellectually stimulating things, so I always love reading. But at some point, I had to change to the arts, and what other intellectually stimulating course could I have gone into than law? And going into law itself now helped more with the passion and the interest in helping to solve problems for people. I enjoy representing clients and helping to solve their problems, and also the fact that law is that profession that gives you the opportunity to get involved in different industries. It cuts across, name it, any industry that you can imagine. So that gives diverse knowledge every single day. From going into the courtroom and then attending NBA meetings and some other legal events, and from research as well, I've realized that women are playing a very, very active role in the legal profession. From research, back in the days, it never used to be, because obviously women have that responsibility of looking after the home, and then this is a profession that requires time, intense passion. You need to be, it's either you're in it with all of yourself or you're not in it at all. So because of the other responsibilities that women have, back in the days, you never have a lot of women. But interestingly enough, there are a lot of women that are actually doing well in the profession, and in the courtrooms. In fact, the judges, the spread of the judges that you find in most, especially, I don't know about other jurisdictions, but in Lagos State, you find a lot of female judges. In the commercial and corporate law, you find a lot of female lawyers, and lawyers in the bar, in court. You see the spread of women as much as men as well. So it's really getting better.
How about the affidavits? Do you think we should still put it in?
I want to believe that the structure, maybe there is a restructure in the flexibility as to how people get to do their jobs in the offices and the law firms these days. Maybe in the past, there never used to be that flexibility for women to be able to express themselves as in their roles as mothers and wives, and also as lawyers. But these days, I know that a lot of law firms give leeway. Some allow for people to be able to work from home. Some allow that, you can work from the office and at the same time have flexible hours that still allows you to deliver the results that are expected from you. So with those kind of flexibilities around these days, women are able to express themselves more as a lawyer and get the best for the profession as well.